Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. I am so excited about today's video. These are some of my favorite videos ever to watch, and they're just like craft inspiration videos. I'm going to walk you through 3 different sets of categories and just share with you guys some craft ideas if you're in a little bit of a rut or looking for your next project. So I'm going to share craft ideas for the following 3 categories. First, we're going to start out with crochet and then move on to sewing and then beaded projects. For crochet and sewing, I'm going to have patterns or tutorial videos linked down below for you guys. The beaded ones are a little bit more of just like inspiration. There is a tutorial in there, but a lot of those are more just like looking at it, figuring out how to do it versus having like an actual tutorial. But I do have like actual patterns linked for you guys. There's a mixture of free ones and paid ones. There's also a mixture of a free YouTube video along with a paid pattern if you choose to buy it. So there's a little bit of everything down below, but you can click on the link pretty easily and it'll take you to, and you can see if it's free or not. So I will try to mention if I remember if each of them are free or not, but let's just go ahead and jump into it. I will have timestamps for the 3 different categories along the timeline bar. I'm gonna scoot over so I can share photos with you guys on this side of the screen. So go ahead and say hello to Perry, because unfortunately I'm about to have to like probably cover her up with the inspiration pictures. And then we've got Bryn on the other side here. The first crochet item is called the Susie top, and it is from Crochet by Sky. So I have made this top. It is so beautiful. So here's an inspiration picture that I fell in love with, and I watched her video of like her making one. I think she was making like a hot pink one in the video that I watched, but I absolutely love this shirt. So I decided to make it. This is the first time I have ever followed a crochet pattern, and it was very easy to follow. So I really appreciated just how like simple it was to read, especially for a beginner. I did mess up. This is like a self-sizing pattern. I don't know if that's what you really call it, but like basically she tells you like how to make it the right size, but it isn't like if you want a medium you need to do this many stitches. It's kind of like stitch and then hold it up and make sure that it looks right. And I messed it up. It's my fault. So from the armpit down I did 4 like rows of flowers, and I really liked that. But then on the top part I did 3, and I don't really know why I did that other than like hers had 3, I think, which is not a good reason to do that. But unfortunately it ended up making the armhole a little bit too big, so I have since tried to like fill it in. So I've had to take a break from that, so I'm probably gonna redo this a little bit, but the idea is there. And for this being my first time ever following a crochet pattern, I feel like it was pretty good, but I didn't want to unravel this whole shirt and redo it, so I actually have started it again. I did go down a hook size because I kind of wanted my flowers to be just a little bit smaller, but that resulted in having an odd amount of flowers across. So my shoulders are going to be a little bit wider on this one. This will eventually have one more flower right here to be like the neckline, but I feel like this is going to be cute. It's going to be a little bit wider than hers, but this one seems to be going a lot better. So I'm hoping to work on this one again soon. And I don't know, I think I'm just addicted to this because once you get in the groove of the pattern, it's so much fun. And I just have really loved this one. I've also just really fallen in love with Crochet by Sky's YouTube and Instagram and everything. She's so talented how she can just like come up with this. Definitely check out her YouTube channel if you want to just see some crocheting content in general. And my second item is actually the Suki top by Sky. I have not tried that one yet. I need to figure out this first one for myself first, but I really want to make the Suki top because I just think it looks so fun. It's a nice like short sleeve shirt, and I love the little tie in the front. I just think, again, it's so unique. It just looks like so much fun to make. So those 2 are from Crochet by Sky, and I don't know, I really like all of her patterns. She also has a lot more, so if you want to check out her site, these are paid patterns. I think that they're really reasonably priced, so take that as you will, I guess, but they're really easy to follow. Third crochet item is the Immie skirt, and this one is one that keeps popping up on my Pinterest. I will say when I first saw it, I thought that they were shorts with like a ruffle. I don't know that my talent level is quite there on figuring out how to make them shorts with a ruffle, but this is actually a skirt. I would love to figure out how to make it into shorts on that bottom layer, but I love this so much. I also feel like this would be really cool to find like short dark brown biker shorts and just wear them underneath this, so then it's kind of like a skirt but then you don't have to worry about it being see-through if your stitches aren't perfect, because I know for a fact mine will not be perfect and I wouldn't wear that without something underneath it anyways. So that might be the way to go about that, but I think that this is so cute. I love the tie and how you can kind of like see the tie peeking through all the way around. I think it's very cute. Another one that keeps coming up on my Pinterest like every single day is this Dragonfly sweater. I think that this is so pretty, and I hope that it's like a similar feeling to the Susie top with just like the repetitive pattern. I have so much fun when I get going with this one. I can just listen to an audiobook and just really enjoy this pattern, and I feel like the Dragonfly one would be similar, but I've never tried it, so one day I really want to try that one. Next up, these are ones I've also made. These are called towel toppers. They're really towel holders. I found a video on how to make these out of need last year. I made myself one, and the reason that I made this is because we keep a towel on our oven bar to like dry your hands or whatever throughout the day, and it always would slip off and it would end up on the ground, and it honestly just really annoyed me. I felt like one of those infomercials that's like, does your towel always fall off your oven? It does, and it was really frustrating. So I wanted to find something to hold my towel on to the rack that was very simple to use. I didn't want to have to like restring a towel into something and like tie a knot or something like that, or have even like a snap closure. So I found this online last year and made myself one. Mine is actually on our oven rack right now, or like on the bar, but I ended up making 3 so far. These are going to be Christmas gifts this year, and this is probably going to be like the Christmas gift of the year. So you can get these little rings, I guess like at Hobby Lobby or something. I don't know, you can get like wooden ones, but my husband actually 3D printed these rings for me so that I could use them for these towel toppers. So they're gonna make a really cool gift, I think, because my husband 3D printed that part and then I crocheted the part to like hold them together. So basically you just put this over your oven rack and then you just slip your towel through the 2 rings and it hangs from there. It doesn't add a ton of length to it, so it's not going to drag on the floor or anything, at least it doesn't on ours, but it just really keeps it from falling off because it's going through the rings that this is being held onto the bar. So it's really, really nice. I have enjoyed it. We use it every single day and have for at least, I think it's been about a year since I've made mine. So I have 2 of this like green and white combo, and then I do have one with the black and like the multicolored blue, which I actually really like this combo. So I think I'll make some more with this blue yarn because I'm trying to use up scraps. This is also a really great like stash buster. If you have a whole bunch of like a little bits of yarn, you could even like use a color, and when you use it up, just do a magic knot and keep on going. So this is a really good one. This one is a free video tutorial, so that's how I did it. I think she does have a pattern if I'm not mistaken, but I just watched the YouTube video and did it like that. And now that I know how to do it, it's actually very fast. So I think I made all 3 of these in the same like afternoon. I think it took me about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to do the whole thing for one. The first one definitely took me longer just because I was just getting into crocheting, but now they're really, really fast if you've done a couple projects. The next one is the Lilah bag. I don't know if I'll ever actually get around to making this one. I don't know. There's just other ones I want to make more, but this one again comes up on my Pinterest board a lot, and I just think it looks so fun to carry around. I don't know. I feel like you could have so many different color combinations with just the flower and like the ruffle around it and even the strap color. So I just think that this one is really, really cute. But yeah, you do have to buy a pattern for this one as well. I think so far the only free one were the towel toppers, but I don't know. I mean, like if someone makes a pattern, I don't mind to buy it personally, but yeah. And then the last idea that I have for crochet, I just have a whole bunch of like inspiration pictures of things you can do with granny squares. So none of these are going to be specific patterns or tutorials. If you like any of them, you can always like reverse image search them, just take a screenshot, open up your Google app and plug it into there. But these are ones I did not find patterns for. I just have them on my Pinterest and I love them. But you can make so many things with granny squares. My most recent granny square project is this tote bag, and I did not have a pattern for the bag itself. So what I did is I found a video on how to make the daisy granny square. I just made a whole bunch of them until I had enough for the shape that I wanted. And then I looked up a video on how to sew them together. And then I looked up a video on how to add the straps. Now the strap video was a different type of bag. It was like more of a flat top, whereas mine obviously has like the V in the middle. So it wasn't exactly, I had to kind of maneuver and make it work. And I'm I'm a beginner with crochet, okay? So if I can do it, you guys can do it. Then I started to use it and I almost lost a lipstick in this bag. So I ended up adding a liner into it and I just totally winged it. I just cut some fabric that seemed to match the size and shape of what I needed. And then I hand sewed it in there using a pink yarn. So it's pretty close to the same color, or a pink thread, I mean, but it's pretty close to the yarn color, so you can't see it too much. And oh, I did add a zigzag stitch around the edge. So it's kind of fun to have a project like this where you just piece it together using various YouTube tutorials when needed, but also just like winging it. If you want to level up any of your projects, by the way, I really suggest getting you some of these little custom tags. I got mine off of Etsy and you can make them say whatever you want. So I just got some that said Kirsten made it and have little flowers on the bottom, and I've been sewing them onto everything that I make, and it's been a lot of fun to just like have that little tag right there because I spent so much time, energy, and effort making these that it's fun to just like have a little stamp with your actual name on it. So that's been really fun. There's so many projects you can make. So here's another example of a granny square bag that I just love, these particular granny squares. I also love this top. I think I definitely would make mine like maybe 4 rows of granny squares personally. I'm not really like that much of a crop top person. You could also make like some really beautiful blankets out of it. I love this one. And then here's just like a bunch of really fun granny squares. I've never made any this unique and just fun, but I would love to. And I think these ones are so pretty. They look a little bit more like lacy to me, but I think that they would make such a pretty project, especially like a tote bag like that. And then these ones just seem like really fun for summer. I especially love the bottom left one that says Rolling Waves. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Sky from the first crochet projects has a sweater that uses that same pattern, and I've always really liked that one. And then the last couple ones here, we have a couple more tote bags, just different shapes and things. And then this pillow has always caught my attention too. I like how it looks a little bit more like 3D. So those are all of my crochet ideas. And then let's move on to, well, they're not my ideas, okay, right? Like I went and found them, but they're other people's. But those are all of my inspo pictures for you guys for crochet. So let's move on to sewing. Again, for the sewing category, the first two are from the same person. They're from Rosie Caldwell, and she has a YouTube channel that I really like. I find her videos very easy and informative. They're really easy to follow along with. So the first one is the zip bag pattern, and I have a couple of zip bags that I have made from this pattern to show you guys. This is the one that specifically like really drew me into her pattern just because of the shape of it. I definitely learned a lot with these projects. So I would like to make some more of these because I think I would do a better job. Specifically, the pencil that I used to mark my quilting line was blue, and it is water soluble, but it did not come out all the way. And that kind of bothers me, to be honest with you guys. Like you can just see a blue tint on the quilting lines. Outside of that though, I think I did do a pretty good job with it. I just think I need to use a different type of marker. But I actually use this for craft supplies. So these hold my Tombow markers. And I don't know, I just feel like it's just a unique shape of a bag. So I did the inverse so that when you look at it this way, you see this pattern, and when you look at it this way, you do this one. But you could totally make this like a quilted pattern or anything like that. And it's just a really nice like shaped bag. So if you have the Tombow markers, you can see that it has extra room in it, but they're really long markers and they're hard to store sometimes because they're usually longer than most of the containers that I have. So I don't know, I've used this for various different things, but for now, that's what I have in it. I did actually buy the pattern for this, but I bought it because I was just starting out. I don't know that I really needed to. I didn't, because they're just rectangles for the most part, but it was helpful to see like the pattern to zipper ratio in the beginning. So I don't regret buying it at the time. I just wouldn't need to, and now I don't think, but this is a smaller one that I made, and I don't know, I'm really happy with how they turned out. So I don't know, they're really easy to follow, but she does have a YouTube tutorial where she walks through it, and then you can choose if you want to buy the pattern. This is the bag I actually keep in my purse, and I just keep like a little thing with my medicine in it. These little medicine pouches are actually really nice. They're from Amazon, and I keep it in my purse every day, especially for like headache medicine and stuff. You never know. I keep tissues. This is turning into a what's in my bag, a couple lip products. But the reason I'm showing you guys what's in here, there's also some mints and a pin, is I took my jewelry off the other day to go to the gym, and I put one of my projects I'm going to show you guys in a little bit in that bag. So I will show you guys that in just a minute. But this is the perfect size to just like hold your everyday things in your purse if you want them to kind of be in like one area so they're not just like going all around your purse. My purse is still a mess though. Please don't think that this means it's organized. So on that same vein, the other Rosie Caldwell pattern, this is my most recent project and I am extremely proud of it. So I really wanted to make a quilted piece. I have never quilted before, so I just started out by throwing some squares together and quilting them into like one piece of fabric. I didn't know what size to make it. I just wanted to just start because I was intimidated by the process. So I went ahead and just quilted a bunch of squares together. Once I had a large enough area, I started to look for projects of making a larger scale bag that had some like shape to it. So these ones are like pretty plain and simple, like rectangles, but I wanted something that was a little bit more. I don't like the ones that are like, they call them boxy bags, I think, where they go like all the way over the zipper on the sides and the top. I don't know why, I just don't really like that shape. I much prefer this shape, but the cool thing about Rosie's video and pattern is she actually includes both, and there's actually 3 I think in there, but she includes this bag and also that more like boxy toiletry bag, but this is the one in specific that I wanted to make. And I actually ended up drawing out my own pattern for this based on what she was doing, but I followed the video tutorial because I didn't really feel like I needed to get the exact pattern and like print all the pieces out. So I just looked at kind of like the ratio, what it looked like on her pattern, and cut out a similar shape to use for my little quilted piece. But yes, I'm absolutely obsessed with how this one turned out, and I could not have comprehended like how to turn this into like a bag with shape without following her video, but she did a really good job of like detailing what to do. So I think this might become my new obsession. I already want to make like 5 more of these, but it is fully lined. It has pockets on both sides. I ended up putting a little snap closure on this side because I felt like this piece here could perfectly fit like 1 to 2 lipsticks, and then this one would just be a little bit like of a larger pocket. But I got a little snap maker and added the snap onto that, which was fun. And then the other side is just like split in half, 2 equal pockets. But I love that this one is completely lined, and I don't know, I just think it looks really nice and put together. And I ended up actually adding my tag to the outside of this bag. So the Kirsten Made It tag is on the front of the bag, and I feel like it really belongs there because I even made like the actual like big piece of fabric to use for this and quilted all the little squares together to make my outside fabric. I also put this little charm on it, and I'm just obsessed with this bag. So that's really why I wanted to make this video, just so I had a reason to show you guys that. Okay, this next one, I really want to make this, and I feel like, again, this might end up being a Christmas gift that I make for people. I have watched this entire video tutorial, and I don't think I'll be buying the pattern. I think she does have a pattern you can buy. I think I will just kind of wing it, but it just looks so fun. I feel like this is perfect for anyone who likes to read and annotate books at the same time. You could just like slide this onto your book and have your annotation materials in there. I think I would make mine wide enough to hold some little tabs to tab your book up, and then you could of course add like a pin or something in there. And I don't know, I just think it looks really cool. It is called a pin holder bookmark, and she kind of walks you through like how to attach the elastic and everything. And I am definitely gonna make some of these because I want one, and I feel like it'd be a really good Christmas gift, like I said. Okay, next up is another one that I have made before. I'm going to show a couple of pictures because I just made my friend one that looks a lot more similar to this. I did not have the snap maker at the time, so I told her that the next time she comes over to my house to bring it, and I'll add a snap to it because I don't know, I'm obsessed with snaps now. But this one that I have made before, I altered it just a little bit, but again, I just followed the video tutorial for this. When I made my friends, I did end up buying the pattern because I felt like this is a pattern that I will use and make enough that having the written instructions would be really nice if I don't want to watch the video every time. So I did end up purchasing that. I also like could see myself purchasing the pattern for this one if I make it enough, just to support Rosie. I definitely gave her like at least 20 views, probably more than that, probably like 25 views on her video. So I support her in that way, but I might end up buying the pattern from her. Just to support her if I make more of them. I'm making them for myself or like as gifts, but yeah, you see what I'm saying. Okay, anyways, this one is a beginner friendly book or Kindle sleeve. I actually made this one last year, And I would agree that it is very beginner friendly. I will say I struggled through this the first time. Like, it was a very big learning process for me of just like how things are constructed, especially when you have it lined like this. And when I made one for my friend recently, I found that it was so easy. I was like, wow, this is the easiest project ever, which just shows that I'm learning and getting better at projects. I made mine a Kindle sleeve, so I just have my Kindle and has like a little pop socket on the back, but this actually fits perfectly into this sleeve. And you can see that hers opens on the top. I of course just made mine open on the side, and it is fully lined again, which I just think like really elevates your projects. And I do have this little elastic thing. Someone, not gonna name names, chewed this. So I have retied it. I'm gonna like try and cover it with some embroidery string and like tie little bits around it and make it cute. But it does wrap around and close on the button on the front, which is just really fun. And my grandma recently gave me a whole bunch of buttons, so now I have a fun button collection. So I'm really wanting to make more of these and just use a bunch of buttons. I would not suggest using this type of button personally because it's just really large and bulky. So now when I put this into anything, it's just like that much more room, and it already has the pop socket. So next time I would use a flat button that has holes on the front. They're just easier to attach. But anyways, I'm giving you probably too much detail than what you want. This is a really, really great pattern. It's very customizable. Again, this would be really cute with like the quilted fabric type of a look, I feel like. So I don't know, I might need to make one of those, but it's a lot of fun. This next one, I have no idea how to make this, and I want to make it so bad. This is a zip around pouch. The reason I want to make that is for the reason I just showed you guys, that I had my jewelry just kind of loose in this other bag, but I just see that that's going to get tangled real quick. I really want to make one of these to be a designated purse pouch to hold my jewelry, because if I go to the gym after work or something, I want to be able to take my jewelry off and have a safe place to put it. I feel like I'm probably missing like 8 pairs of earrings right now because they're just strewn about in miscellaneous bags and little pockets of a bag or a zipper of a bag. I just want a designated area for them to go, and I think that this pouch is the perfect solution for me. There are some that have like little mesh pockets and stuff. I don't think I need all of that because this would just be for like one necklace, one pair of earrings, a bracelet, whatever. I don't think that they would get too tangled. Tangling is not my problem currently. It's just them ending up in the car, in the cup holder, in the bags, like I said. So yeah, I need a place to like actually put my jewelry day to day, so I can just like bring it home, know where it's at, and then put it up, hopefully. So cute. I don't know that this is quite in my skill level yet. There's no video to follow, and I'm feeling a little intimidated by this project, but I had to include it because it just looks amazing. So I mentioned one with like a little mesh pouch. I think that this one would be really nice to make just for like different things. Like this one has craft supplies in it, but this is called a zip around pouch. Oh, that one's actually called the Hexi Double Pouch Pocket. And again, I just think that this one would be really nice. I like the one I just showed you guys for jewelry more, I think, but this one would also be good for jewelry. So I don't know. Maybe I'll start with this one because it actually looks easier than the other one, but I don't know. I will say on the one I just talked about, this picture was of someone who like recreated the existing pattern, so I have linked both, but note that this one is actually taller than the pattern says, so she altered it to be taller, which is exactly what I would want to do. Again, I don't know that that's in my skill level quite yet, but anyways, I love those little zip pouches. Okay, next up, this is one that has just like really piqued my creativity lately. I love seeing these on Instagram. I literally had my calendar set to buy the pattern for this, and then it was like $45 for the pattern. The tablecloth that I have to turn into a shirt like this is, first of all, not as beautiful as this. Okay, it was just like a white tablecloth, but it's very pretty and lacy and stuff. But I bought it for $3.50. And so I have a hard time justifying buying a $40-something pattern to use to flip under $10 tablecloths. So I don't know, I'm having a hard time with that. I ended up not buying the pattern yet. I don't know that I will. I don't know. I'm just not planning on making like a million of them. So it's just a little bit of a too big of a pill to swallow for me. But anyways, I think that these shirts are absolutely beautiful if you knew how to just like make them in just any ways and inspiration, or if you wanted to spend the money on the pattern. But this is by the brand Spilt Milk, and she has the most beautiful shirts. And I'm not saying the pattern's not worth that, by the way. It's just a little bit out of my price range for a pattern. So let me make that clear. But she turns tablecloths and things into beautiful shirts, and I love them. I love looking at them. She has the prettiest tops. Oh, the last thing for sewing is this cute little quilted pouch. I really want to make this as well, because when I use like my Lululemon belt bag, you just use a small little wallet, but I don't really like it. And so I think I'd like something a little bit more like this, where I can just open it up and have my ID, some cards, insurance card, a little bit of cash, just right into that one little pouch. And it doesn't have all these little pockets, because when I just need a few things and I don't need like my whole wallet, it would be nice to just have like a little pouch. I also think it'd just be fun that like I made it. I don't know. I don't really want to go buy one. I'm definitely in the phase of my life of just like wanting to make all of the things instead of just like going and buying them when I can, either thrifting them or making them. That's where I'm at. I've always been in like the thrifting category, but now I'm just into like, I want to make the things that I use every day, because I absolutely love looking in my purse and seeing this every day that I made. And I love using my Kindle sleeve every single day. So it's just so fun to me. I cannot wait to wear this shirt that I'm making. Like, I love it. I don't know, it just really makes me happy. I'm gonna go through these beaded projects a little bit faster, because I've just been so excited to talk to you guys about these that I really wanted to like talk about them. I didn't want to just throw like 200 ideas at you. So anyways, we're gonna move on to some beaded crafts. So first up are just these little cute charms, and I just wanted to like share a couple pictures with you guys. And then I also wanted to make this kind of bookmark with beads on the end. I didn't find one exactly like what I'm thinking, but like think a paper bookmark. I'm gonna just put two pictures here. Think about them combined. A paper bookmark with whatever you want to put on it. You can design it online and print it, which I actually think I might do on Canva. Let me know if you guys would want me to share like the actual things I make on Canva with you guys. And then I want to add like beads like this to it, like charms almost. I just think that'd be so fun. I don't want them on metal bookmarks though. I want them on a paper one. These ones with the charm on them, they're on like a little metal hook thing, I think. I don't particularly like those because they just are so thick in the pages, and I just prefer like a paper bookmark, but I'm all for the charm hanging off the end. So I kind of want to combine those. Then when I was looking for like inspo pictures of what I had in mind, I really love this one that I fell across. It almost reminds me of like rosary beads. I feel like, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've seen rosary beads, but that's where my mind is going with this. But I just think like the beaded charm on a ribbon looks really pretty. So I think that would be really fun. Again, I think the ribbon would be a little bit thinner in the book versus like a metal piece or anything like that. So a ribbon or a paper bookmark with a beaded charm on the end would just be really fun. Okay, this one I do have a video tutorial for. I don't have a very good picture of it because it was hard to get like a clear screenshot from her video, but I did recreate this bracelet a couple of weeks ago. It's not as perfect as hers. Mine does get a little bit twisted as you wear it, but it's this really pretty daisy beaded bracelet. And let me see if I can twist it like the right way for you guys to see, but I just think it's so pretty, and I'm now obsessed with making all of the things like this. And also just in general, like the beaded little charms. I did end up making this little beaded charm to go on this bag too, because the only zippers I can actually find in store right now have these like tiny little holes, and the ones that Rosie used have like larger holes so you can add a fabric pull, but I wanted to add something. So I did end up just adding this cute little kind of beaded number here, and I don't know, I think it turned out really cute, so I'm happy with it. I think it adds just like a little something extra to this already something extra bag, but I think it's really cute. So I'm into all of like the little beaded things. And then I saw this video on Instagram, and I will link the video just so you can see it where I got the idea from, but it's like a little beaded flower bouquet. I've only made 3 so far, so these are the ones I have made. So I made 2 little flowers that actually have a flower on the end, and then I made one that just has like leaves. So I thought that it would look like maybe some, I don't know, eucalyptus or random greenery. But just in general, like these little floral bouquets are so cute. I actually picked up these tiny little vases in a thrift store last weekend for, I think they were $1 each, and I feel like I see these in thrift stores all the time. So this is just like a perfect opportunity to have a project to use for these, because otherwise I'm like, what do you do with them? I will say though, I gave little vases like this to some of my friends who have recently had babies because I saw that you could make like little bouquets, and like, you know how kids pick flowers and stuff, and they pick like the little dandelions outside, and you don't really have like these massive flowers for a large, like regular size vase. These little bud vases, I think they're called, are really cute for that too, but this is another kind of way that you could use them if that's not kind of fitting your needs for that. But I feel like it'd be really cute to just like fill this up with flowers. And I already had this one when I made the flowers, so I'm planning to just like fill this up. And anytime I need like a brain off hobby, just something to do like while I'm watching TV or listening to a book or something, that's what I want to do, and just like have a little craft to be able to do. I like to be able to do things with my hands like while I'm listening to a book or watching TV or something. I don't really like to just like sit. I don't know. I have to stay busy. But anyways, here's some like pictures of inspiration, little bouquets. But those are all the ideas that I have. I really just wanted to chat with you guys about some things that I'm feeling really inspired by lately, whether I've made them recently or I'm looking forward to making them in the near future. Those little zip pouches are definitely like number one on my list, aside from finishing this really cute shirt. So I hope that this video gave you guys a little bit of inspiration. If you have any other things that are like on your radar that you think I would like or anyone else would like, feel free to share them down in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.